Then I'm still in Parliament even now, and I followed the process, and I know one of the mistakes that we did, there was one of the stations that had organized for various stakeholders to meet and debate the finance bill. And clearly as Parliament we missed, because the chair of finance bill never attended, the chair of budget committee never attended. Actually, the only person who represented Parliament then was my chair of agriculture, who is Honorable Mutunga, who had no information about the finance bill and what was happening. Because then, that is when the finance committee was sitting. And I felt then the chair then of the finance committee or a member of finance committee would have participated. So on that specific show, there were a lot of issues that came up, and they were not handled well. I remember there was one representative, I think of, was it either KRA or Treasury, who totally seemed not to be aware of what was even in finance bill. And he was sent by the government to go and represent them in such a show. It was a big letdown. And so this time round, we also having a different finance minister, and I know Professor Dongo was a very good finance minister, but he was not a people's person. He was not a person who could explain issues. I was impressed, I think last month when John Bundy, they had a session, and there were young people who were asking questions, and he was there handling and tackling the questions one-on-one, having that open forum. And that gives confidence to the people then that there's nothing that we are hiding under the table. So the difference from how we handled last time and this time, there's clear, better communication. I will not say it's the best for now, but better communication. Secondly, the issue of the constitution is not even about the president. We have the governance, and we have Parliament that has its own role before the president ascends, because what happens, this finance bill, even if it comes from the executive on what the government suggests on how they wish to support the budget, because basically the finance bill on where or the avenues how we are going to support the current budget that we are going to pass. And very soon we are going to be reading the budget. This time, the committees, we are going through our own departmental budgets, so that then finally we'll present to the budget committee, and then it will come to the House, we will debate. And what happens even when the minister comes to read about the budget, it's something that is already done, a matter already sorted by Parliament. So Parliament really agrees on what is a priority, and then passes it over to the executive. Coming to the finance bill, Parliament has a role to follow the Constitution, and it's clear how the bill should come to the House, the public participation, and then the feedback in the House. And this is a process that we need to be very careful about. When it comes to public participation, it is just not about handing over your memoranda, because you can drop it in Parliament, you can also send an email, and you can also come in person and do the participation. Sometimes I've been a chair before, and you receive many suggestions. So what happens, there are experts also in Parliament who sits and goes through this thing. I said last time, I had a lot of interest, because